So thank you for sitting down with us, and congratulations on your new position.
Thank you so much for having me, and I appreciate your support.
So 5 years have gone by. When you first came to AISD, you had goals. Have you been able to achieve those goals?
Well, yeah, when I came into the district in 2009, there was a lot of anxiety around the high stakes testing. We had several multi-year academically unacceptable schools and more than 20 other schools that they were calling focus schools that were on the fence, and were being carefully reviewed by the commissioner and the TEA. And there was a lot of, as one board member consistently put it, the house was on fire. So there was a lot of angst in the district about whether or not we were going to be able to arrest the decline in performance, the decline in graduation rates, and turn things around before they really did spiral out of control. So it was, of course, the year that the commissioner closed Pierce Middle School on, I think, the second day of my job, and just was a lot of high stakes pressure around the district and really planning for the future. We also knew that we had a structural deficit in, I think it was about $20 million, and that there was already talk on the ground about a potential significant loss of education funding coming from the state. And while none of those things had really fully played out, and we now in retrospect we know all that really happened, it was a difficult time. It was a time of a little bit of chaos and a lot of anxiety within the internal organization. And our focus was really about trying to ease some of that angst, but more importantly be direct and clear and have courageous conversations about the pathway we needed to cut ourselves to ensure that students were indeed getting what they needed to be successful in school and life, but also supporting our staff so that they could get the job done.
Mm-hmm. So looking back, how did you rise to those challenges? Some of the toughest years in Texas for education in general, the state budget cuts, the new testing system, then the changes just this last school year to the state testing.
I know just reliving this is causing my blood pressure to rise. Yeah, it's been a tough 5 years. Not because of the people or the staff or the students, just the context of what we've been working in. It is something I think the state had never experienced before, not in recent history, and people didn't know really how to unpack all of that. I do think I brought a skill set that was a little unique, having worked in an intense environment like Washington, D.C., and having trained in the urban work out of Harvard. I was able to study many other districts that have far more challenges than what Austin was facing, and I think being able to bring some of those tools to the table and start working on things as quickly as possible ended up putting us in a place where we could set ourselves up for not, of course, avoiding all the pain. We did get, in the end, a $60 million permanent cut to our funding after that 2011 legislative session, and we haven't fully recovered yet. But we were able to, create a budget strategy that set us up to plan for the future. We were able to still fund a lot of new programming. We were able to provide professional development to our staff, keep early childhood education, improve to the best of our ability the cost, or contain the cost that could have spiraled out of control on our health insurance, and a lot of other management and academic areas like dual language immersion that do have increases associated with them. But we were able to manage them and actually put them in place at a high level of fidelity so that student outcomes could increase, more students could graduate, and staff at least get some relief from the anxiety they were feeling around our budget situation.
And you mentioned some achievements. What would you say are some of your proudest moments here over the last 5 years?
Yeah, and no superintendent does this work alone. So it took a lot of people coming together to agree on having those courageous conversations about our achievement gap, about the experience of language learners and African American students in the district, dealing with disciplinary referrals, or is another example of some of our data that I think even surprised some people after we did more intense drill downs on what was really happening in the system and what we could do to get better outcomes. I think one of the areas that I'm most proud of is the leadership team, both at the senior level and at the school-based level. Our principals, I can honestly say, I believe that Austin has the strongest principal ranks in the country right now. And many of them, we worked very hard to grow and develop through the system and were our former assistant principals. And when I look at them and see what they're doing at the school-based level, creating cultures that are reducing the high-stakes testing tension and helping our teachers and our families come together to support our students. I think it's not a data point. It's not something that you can point to that's quantitatively defined, but I think everyone feels the difference in AISD today compared to where things were in 2009. And I'm very, very proud of our principal leadership. And then some data points do get me giddy. The graduation rate at 82.5%, raising the performance for all student groups in the graduation rate has been something that our high schools have, my goodness, killed themselves to unpack and repack in a better way. We've done, credit recovery. We have early college, high school program, early college start, early college, high school programs. We have alternative pathways to graduation, and I'm so proud of them because for 2 years running, and I hope it's a third, they've had attendance rates as high as 90% or better across all the high schools. So it's just been an incredible experience to watch that actually happen in what in urban terms is considered very, very fast.